Hey everyone, today we're diving into configuration management in Go using the powerful Viper package. Whether you're building a small app or a complex distributed system, Viper can make managing your configurations a breeze. Let's get started. So, what is Viper? Viper is a Go package designed to handle application configurations. It supports reading from various sources like JSON, YAML, environment variables, command line flags, and even remote configuration systems. With Viper, you can seamlessly manage all your app's configuration needs in one place. First things first, let's install Viper. Open your terminal and run this command. Now that we have Viper installed, let's jump into some code. We are going to use this SimpleNet HTTP project. These are the APIs this project provides. In this file, setup.go, we create a database connection. Here is the database connection string. Let's start by putting this connection string in the Viper config. We create a new directory for storing configuration files. Here, we create a new file app.env to store the config. This file represents two environment variables that we will use for configuring this application. This variable contains the database connection string. It will be used to connect the application to a MySQL database. This variable specifies the address and port where the application server will run. Now we create a new file app.config.go. We will set up configuration management using Viper in this file. Let's implement the function loadConfig. It will read and load environment-based configurations for our application. First, we use viper.AddConfigPath. We pass the directory where the config resides. This tells Viper to look for the configuration file inside the specified directory. Next, we set the name of the configuration file with SetConfigName. This means Viper will look for the specified file in the specified path. Notice that we're not including the file extension here. That comes in the next step. Then, we use viper.setConfigType to specify the file type. In this case, it's an .env file, which is a common format for environment variables. You can also use other file types like JSON or YAML depending on your project needs. We will explore YAML later in this episode. Now here's a powerful feature, AutomaticEnv. This enables Viper to automatically read from environment variables in your system. This is useful for overriding configurations from the file with environment-specific values, for instance, when deploying to production. Next, we call readInConfig to load the configuration file. This function attempts to read and parse the file from the path we've specified. If there's an error, like the file is missing or contains invalid syntax, it returns an error. Finally, we handle errors with this simple block. If the readInConfig function fails, we log the error and terminate the application using log.fatal. Now we will replace this server address with the address in the config. We can use viper.GetString. We pass the variable name as an argument. Similarly, in database connection setup, we will replace the connection string with the one from the configuration. We have not yet loaded the configuration. In the main function, we call loadConfig in the beginning. Let's run the server. Now, let's see if the API works. It works as before. Now let's see how we can use YAML to store the configuration. This is my preferred way, as it is most readable and store config parameters in tree structure. Let's create a file, config.yaml. Here, we have database parameters in different config parameters. This config stores the server address. In the load config function, we need to change the name and the type of the config file. We will use the new configuration parameters here. Let's get the database parameters here in a variable. We use the GetStringMapString function. It reads the map with string keys and string values. Now, we will replace the database params in the connection string. We get the username like this. Then the password, followed by the address, database and chassis. Similarly, we replace the config parameter server address in the file main.go. Let's try the app now. The app works. Some people prefer to unmarshal the config into a structure. We will see how to do so. Here we define this structure config. This structure resembles the config file. This nested structure is for the DB parameters, and this one is for the server address. Map structure tag is used to map the structure name, DB params with map structure tag with the variables in the configuration file. In this structure, username is mapped to username in the config file. Similarly, these parameters are also mapped. Now, let's instantiate the config. In the load config function, we call Unmarshal to populate the app config. Now, we will use this structure in the database configuration. Here from the DB params we use the username, then the password, address and so on. Now similarly, we will use this structure to set the server address. Let's see if this works. It works as before. That's a wrap on Viper. As you can see, it's a super versatile package for managing configurations in Go. But Viper has so much more to offer, like remote configuration and live watching for changes. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!